I am getting a little bit excited here because Mr. Yao, you have Mr. Yo, whatever your name is, sir. Sir, you're not in flux. You either were on the board of directors or you weren't on the board of directors, right? You know, a person is either pregnant or not. They're either on the board of directors or they're not on the board of directors. They're not half pregnant and they're not half on the board of directors. You have said that shamefully the media have claimed that you were on the board of directors and a government employee at the same time without asking you. Well, maybe they didn't need to ask you because they foolishly assumed that what you told Parliament on October the 31st was true.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, gang? Just Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. We try to learn as much as we can about Canadian federal politics. We didn't pay attention for a couple of years. Things went out of hand. And now we have this Trudeau, Jagmeet, Liberal NDP coalition, Poilievre waiting in the wings just for an election because 70% of Canadians want an election now. That's what the polls say. There are so many things happening, so many scams and scandals with this Trudeau, NDP, Liberal, Jagmeet coalition. It's just a mess. A corrupt cabinet of unlikable ministers. So many things going on. Let's take a peek at this. Cue the card. Let's see what we're going to watch in this next video. Things here are wild. Let's see what we got coming up.
Turning now to Mr. GENUIS, you have the floor for 5 minutes, please.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Yao, it's good to see you again. You testified before Parliament on October the 31st of last year. I did at the time ask you, what would you say you do here? And this was one answer you gave in the course of that round. You said, I am an executive on the board of directors for Dalian, and I maintain all of the governance as it relates to the PSAB. Mr. Yao, was that the truth as of October 31st of 2023?
So, Mr. Chair, just a correction, it's Mr. Yo, okay, not Yao.
How about just an answer?
But then I will answer you for sure. But, you know, it ends up that we were in that time frame of dealing with lawyers, and I had been, you know, directing at a director level.
Sir. October the 31st, you were before this committee. Yeah. You answered my question in a particular way. Was what you said to the committee then assembled on October the 31st, was it the truth?
So at that time, there was no divestiture because we were working on it. And
were you, quote, were you, quote, an executive on the board of directors for Dalian? Were you the one who, quote, maintained all of the governance on October the 31st? Was that true? Yes or no?
Sure. Yes.
It was true.
Well, that's the answer you're looking for, so I'm going to give it to you.
No, sir. I'm looking for the true answer.
So the true answer is
just as I was on October the 31st.
We were in flux during that time period in order to, obviously, we had 60 days to get everything done, and we did that with Dalian and got our non-disclosure in and our no access.
Okay, sir, you're not in flux. You either were on the board of directors or you weren't on the board of directors, right? You know, a person is either pregnant or not. They're either on the board of directors or they're not on the board of directors. They're not half pregnant and they're not half on the board of directors. You have said that shamefully the media have claimed that you were on the board of directors and a government employee at the same time without asking you. Well, maybe they didn't need to ask you because they foolishly assumed that what you told Parliament on October the 31st was true. Now, sir, your LinkedIn account says that you were a business owner at Dalian Enterprises from 2001 until present, and you were employed by the Department of National Defense continuously from 1987 until present. So, again, to your truthfulness or not, was your LinkedIn account accurate in description of those timelines?
Well, if you look at LinkedIn, it is not it is a non-authoritative source. First of all, it's LinkedIn. It's a web page. All right.
Yeah. Why would we believe what's on the internet, sir? It's your own LinkedIn profile, sir. Why would we expect that you would put accurate information on your own LinkedIn page? Outrageous.
All right,
So, Chair, I'm okay.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to answer that question if I could.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Genuis. It is his round of questioning. I'll just ask you to. We can all hear you quite clearly, so if you could just keep that in mind, Mr. Genuis.
Thank you, Chair. I am getting a little bit excited here because, Mr. Yao, you have Mr. Yo, whatever your name is, sir.
All right, hold on, Mr. Bishop. Names are important.
Okay.
We all make mistakes, but if you could conduct yourselves in a way that shows our witness respect,
Okay,
I'd
it's
appreciate
Genus,
it.
by the way, but
That's a good point. Yes, and it's William's son. I realize.
if we're
that.
insisting,
All right,
Chair.
you have a minute and a half left, Mr. Genuis.
Okay. Sir, you have on your LinkedIn profile a claim that you were simultaneously working for the government and leading DALIAN. You told this committee on October the 31st, pardon me, not this committee, but you told that committee on October 31st that you were you were on the board of directors for DALIAN. You were at the time employed by the government. And you have subsequently said, oh, no, there was some flux going on. But you clearly were in a conflict of interest, weren't you, sir? You were clearly doing both at the same time. And now you're trying to weasel your way out of it after the fact, but you were clearly in a conflict of interest, were you not?
So, okay, so I need to answer the LinkedIn side of it first. First of all, it's a non-authoritative source, and it's on the internet.
It's your profile.
It did say 1987.
Did you write it?
It did not describe all of my service that I have done. I have done 14 years in the Reg Force, 10 years in the reserves, 20 years as a contractor. I've had 36 years in the department.
Did you subcontract the writing of your LinkedIn profile, sir?
Probably could have or should have.
Your time for
So
one
I
last
needed to
question,
answer your
Mr.
question. You asked me a question, and I'm trying to answer it, okay? The department has deemed...
Were you not in a conflict of interest being on the board of directors of DALIAN at the same time as you were an employee of a department that was giving contracts to a company that you, according to your testimony before Parliament, were on the board of directors of?
Thank you, Mr.
My
Genuis. That is your
understanding is
time.
that
I will allow
D&D
for an answer, please. Yes, I will allow you to answer, Mr. Genuis. Your time is expired. You have the floor,
Thanks,
sir.
Mr. Chair. Yeah. My understanding is that D&D has made a statement that there was no conflict of interest. Period.
Thank you. Turning now to Ms.
Well, that puts it to rest then, doesn't it?
Turning now to Ms. Bradford.
So what do you think, gang? Canadian loony for certain. Like and subscribe. We have fun sharing all the things that we're learning about Canadian federal politics with you. I'm not a conservative. I'm a libertarian, but I care about Canadians. In the grocery store lineups, that's it. Canadian loony, things are nuts in this country right now. We need a change. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, all that fun stuff. Please leave a comment. I react to all the comments. So that's it. We'll catch you next video. There's so many things going on this summer. We're going to be digging into the archives of the committees, learning about where these investigations stand. Aaron, Canadian Loony, right here. Thank you for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one. See you next time.